Hello, this is Mysticallylily, and I am channeling this information from my higher self. This transmission is addressed to the collective, to all gathered here as a single field of attention, listening not only with the ears, but with the whole being. Receive this as both exposition and remembrance. I will describe the architecture, the layering, and the purpose. This is a map of what is true about how reality is structured and why it was designed this way. Allow these words to settle into the group field as clarity, as resonance. Creation begins with vibration. Imagine pure awareness, limitless and unbroken, choosing to speak itself for the very first time. That first utterance was not language, but pure tone, sound that carried intention. Sound is the instruction. From that instruction came light, the visible body of sound, the shaping of vibration into form. Think of sound as the thought, and light as the handwriting that makes that thought visible. Together, sound and light woven patterns, sacred geometries, standing wave fields, blueprints. Those blueprints are like memory banks. They can serve every experience that will ever happen. In this design, nothing is wasted. Nothing is thrown away. All is recorded. From that moment, the universe began to unfold not as chaos, but as music tones harmonizing, weaving layers, creating a stage upon which life could appear. This is why so many traditions speak of the universe as a song, or as spoken into being. It is both poetry and physics. To hold all this experience, the universe organized itself into layers. These are what we call harmonic universes. Think of them as floors in a grand building, or as steps on a staircase of sound. Each harmonic universe holds 3 dimensions, like 3 notes in a chord. The notes harmonize with one another, and the chord is distinct from the chords above and below. Together, the chords form a symphony. The first harmonic universe is the one humanity knows best. It contains dimensions 1, 2, and 3, dense matter, elemental life force, and human embodiment. Here, the lessons are about polarity, choice, consequence, and survival. This is the training ground where consciousness learns through direct experience with density. The second harmonic universe contains dimensions 4 through 6. Here, dream space is more fluid, memory across lifetimes becomes accessible, and the soul begins to perceive itself beyond one incarnation. These are the realms where many experience astral travel, soul recall, or guidance from higher aspects of themselves. The third harmonic universe holds dimensions 7 through 9. Here, individuality softens into oversoul identity. Sparks that once saw themselves as alone remember that they are part of a larger family. Missions are coordinated, and collective service becomes the focus. The fourth harmonic universe contains dimensions 10 through 12. These are the avataric and Christos levels of being. Here, unity is not theory, it is embodied. Beings at this stage can incarnate with vast presence, holding planetary or even galactic currents in service. Beyond these lies the fifth harmonic universe, dimensions 13 and higher. These fields are so close to source that separation between knower and known blurs. These are emanative fields, where beings exist as near direct expressions of source. Why is the universe structured this way? 3 reasons. First, to allow growth step by step, like a school where each grade builds capacity for the next. Second, to protect freedom. Ascension is never forced, each step must be chosen. And third, to allow for creative diversity. When life exists at many frequencies, creation is not repetitive but endlessly inventive. Running through this great structure are pathways, corridors of energy that link nodes, times, and places. We call them wormlines. A wormline in its natural state is like a subway tunnel. It allows consciousness, memory, and energy to move safely across distance and dimension. Wormlines are highways of light, but when these tunnels are bent, blocked, or exploited, they stop functioning as safe passage. Instead of transporting, they trap. When this happens, the corridor can collapse into a loop, an echo chamber. And when enough distortion gathers, a sink appears. A sink is like a drain in the energetic fabric. Imagine water circling endlessly down a whirlpool but never reaching the ocean. Energy fragments, memory loops, and even parts of souls can get stuck in these drains. They do not flow forward, they circle. This explains why some people or places feel heavy, stuck, or endlessly repeating the same story. It is not random misfortune, it is the sign of a sink. And just as a clogged pipe can be cleared, these too can be repaired, but it requires harmonic alignment, intention, and consent. Throughout history, large-scale distortions of wormlines and sinks have caused what we remember as planetary falls. The falls of Lyra, Tara, Atlantis, and Lemuria each carried their own textures, yet all shared a common thread: detuning plus misuse. In Lyra, the original cradle of human-like races, corridors were misaligned in struggles for control. In Tara, entire planetary filaments were stressed beyond stability. In Lemuria and Atlantis, advanced technologies interfaced with the grid, but without full reverence. In each case, wormlines twisted, sinks multiplied, and vast oversoul fragments shattered. The result was dispersion. Families of consciousness scattered across timelines, dimensions, and worlds. Trauma imprinted itself in DNA, in auric patterns, in planetary records, and those imprints replayed again and again as karmic cycles. The falls were not punishments delivered by a wrathful source. They were consequences, the physics of distortion written large. Karma is often misunderstood. It is not divine retribution. It is memory. Karma is stored signature. When an event leaves a strong impression, it alters the vibration of the being. That altered vibration attracts resonance, similar experiences that echo the original imprint. This is why cycles repeat. The universe is not punishing, it is teaching. The pattern reappears until the being makes a different vibrational choice. Liberation comes not from wishful thinking, but from changing the frequency of response. Imagine a song stuck on repeat. It plays until someone changes the note. Healing is changing the note. Healing is restoration of the original harmonic. It is not erasing history, but reweaving it into coherence. Healing reestablishes spin, phase, rhythm. It reconnects broken filaments. It brings meaning to suffering by placing it back in context. And healing uses the same principles as creation: tone, geometry, and consent. Tone introduces the correct frequency. Geometry organizes that tone into structure. Consent ensures alignment is honored and nothing is forced. When these three align, coherence naturally returns. Ascension is often misunderstood as escape, but it is not leaving Earth. It is staying here while holding more of Source. Ascension is a physiological and energetic upgrade. The DNA awakens latent codes. The auric field expands. The Merkaba, the light body vehicle, stabilizes. The being becomes able to operate across more than one floor of the universal building at once. Earth's role is deliberate. This planet volunteered as a repair site. Its density provides contrast for learning. Its crystalline lattice provides anchoring for complex harmonics. The Earth grid, with its crystalline filaments and ley intersections, is a living instrument. And in this age, many of its wormlines are opening again. When enough coherent pattern holders gather, cascades begin. Nodes lift, corridors reroute, dreams shift, ecosystems respond. This is why so many feel called to service now. Every stable presence contributes to the planetary repair. Now let us walk the dimensions themselves in simple words. The first dimension is the foundation, mineral, lattice, the bones of matter. The second dimension is life force in its simplest form, plants, elementals, movement without self-awareness. The third dimension is human life, dense, polarized, learning through cause and effect. These three form the first harmonic universe, the classroom of embodiment. The fourth dimension is dream space, astral corridors, time elasticity. The fifth dimension is soul oversight, memory across lives. The sixth is integration, higher choice by the soul itself. These form the second harmonic universe, the classroom of the soul. The seventh dimension is monadic memory, remembering the larger family. The 8th is coordination, missions organized across sparks. The 9th is collective service, identity dissolving into we. These form the 3rd harmonic universe, the classroom of the Oversoul. The 10th through 12th dimensions hold avataric and Christos templates. Here, unity is lived, service is vast, presence is planetary, and the 13th and beyond, Rishi fields, direct emanation. Knower and known. These maps explain why experiences differ. One may be repeating karmic loops in the 3rd dimension, another may be recalling missions in the 5th, another may be acting as conduit for group memory in the 8th. All are true. All are part of the staircase. In summary, the universe is structured in layers so consciousness can grow step by step. Wormlines are tunnels of passage, sinks are drains of distortion, the falls were ruptures of alignment, karma is memory replayed until the note changes, healing restores the pattern, ascension is holding more light without leaving, and Earth is the current stage of repair. Imagine the Cathara lattice, crystalline threads beneath your feet, each intersection a memory, a relationship. When a community gathers in resonance, it becomes a loom, weaving missing threads back into place. Restoration is not solitary, it is communal. The language of harmonic universes gives us a shared story, making repair legible and possible. May listening become practice. May distinctions between dimensions guide with clarity and soften with compassion. May remembering bring humility. Thank you for listening. This is Mysticallylily.